Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Milestone and my channel is all about finding your passion, fulfilling your potential and achieving your goals. In this video, I'll talk you through when's the right time to leave your job. If this is the type of content you're looking for, please subscribe because I've got new videos out every single week. But let's get into it. When it comes to deciding when the best time to leave your job is, there's a few things that you should bear in mind before beginning. The first thing is loyalty is not rewarded. In fact, there's a Forbes article that states employees who stay at a company for over 2 years end up being paid 50% less. Imagine that. So loyalty is not rewarded. It's never been rewarded. And most companies think, well, if this employee is going to stay anyway, why should we go out of our way to pay them more? So loyalty is never rewarded. So just imagine you staying at a company for 10 years plus. You are likely to be paid a lot less than an external hire that's brought in at the same level. That is, it's nuts, but loyalty is never, ever taken into consideration by companies. So ultimately, you've got to put yourself first because nobody else will. Not your boss, not your colleagues, not your company. It has to be you. You have to look out for yourself first and keep your best interests in mind. Alongside that, what I'd say is ideally, you wouldn't leave your job until you've secured something else. Unfortunately, we've got life, we've got bills, we've got other commitments, maybe family that we're supporting. There's things that we need to repay, and mortgages, rent, all that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't advise you to leave your job until you've secured something else. And now I'll share my top 5 things that you should consider before leaving your job. So the first thing to think about is, what are your career goals? Where do you want to get to? Is this role the best way for you to get there? If it's not, have a think about what path you want to take. If it's staying in the same role, do you have to move company? If it is, start mapping this out for yourself. So map out your career plan. Don't wait for anyone else to do this for you. And I got some really great advice from a CEO that I know when it comes to career planning. So he advises people to plan 2 steps ahead when it comes to career planning. So think about your next 2 roles. So if you're looking to move, will that role help you get to your next role? So it's a long-term way of thinking about your career, and it will make you a lot more deliberate when it comes to making career choices, and hopefully it will lead you to make the best ones for you. The other thing to bear in mind is, do you actually like what you do? Do you actually like what you do on a day-to-day basis? If you don't, then you might need to consider a career change, and that's fine, that's okay. It can be scary, but you've got to like what you do. If you don't, you'll never grow and succeed in that role. And if you're spending most of your time, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, in the same role and you don't like it, you're gonna be unhappy most of your life. And that's quite sad. The next thing to consider is, are you growing? Is the job allowing you to grow, to learn new skills, to develop in areas that you want to? Or is the job too easy? Are you finding yourself being bored? Can you basically do the job with your eyes closed? If that is the case, that's not a good sign, and it shows that you're not growing. And without growth, you can't succeed, you can't progress in your career, and you can't get what you ultimately deserve. And if you're not growing, you're only wasting your own potential, you're slowing down your career growth, and you're wasting your time. There's a great Chinese proverb I found that explains this really well. Be not afraid of growing slowly. Be afraid only of standing still. The next point to consider is, how long have you been in the same role? If you've been at the company for a few years and not progressed, and you're sort of happy, you really want to consider how comfortable you are being in that role. Because being comfortable is not a good thing. It won't, again, lead you to growth, and it won't get you to where you want to be. And if you want to progress, you need to get out of your comfort zone and continue to grow and learn. And Oprah sums this up perfectly: where there is no struggle, there is no strength. Another thing to bear in mind here is, unfortunately, hard work alone is not enough for you to get promoted or to get a pay rise. The people that get these things tend to have a really strong relationship with the senior leadership teams of their company. If you don't have this, you're likely to be overlooked in most cases, unfortunately. That's the truth, and that's something you should always bear in mind. If you want to know how you can go about building these relationships with those senior people in your company to help you progress, I've got another video around this which you can go and watch after this. The fourth point is, have you got a clear career path? This should be standard at most companies, but you'd be surprised how many people don't have this. So ideally, you should have a clear career path at your company with clear goals. So these should be goals that your manager sets with you, that ideally, if you hit them all or exceed them all, they should get you to that next promotion, or they should get you that next pay rise. And you'd be surprised at how many companies don't actually do this, but it is best practice, and without this you are unlikely to get anything, because these are the measures, the KPIs that will help you prove you've done what was laid out and you are ready to go up to the next level. So if you haven't got these, speak to your manager, work together to get these written down. Make sure it's clear that if you hit these, they will help you get to that next level, and those are the requirements, and they're going to help the business. And write them down, and make sure you and your boss review them in regular meetings. And for my final point, are you happy there? If you're not happy there, think about why that is. Is it because of your boss? Is it because of the company culture? Is it because of your colleagues? Is it because you're too comfortable? Do you not actually like what your job role is? Do you need to consider changing your career? So think about these points plus all the points that I mentioned earlier, and consider which of these things is making me unhappy. Because you're spending most of your time at work. If you're not happy, it's going to be draining. It's going to take a big toll on your mental health, and that's not what you want. That's not what you deserve either. So those are all the key things to bear in mind when deciding whether to leave your job. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe if you haven't already, because I've got lots more content to come. Comment below if you'd like more advice, and I'd be happy to answer as best as I can. If you want to know more about how to have a successful career, please watch my other video, which is gonna be on screen now. So thanks for watching, and let's keep chasing those goals.